I just had this dream. It was pretty, it was pretty calm and soothing. I was standing on top of a mountain, and there were all these white clouds around me. They were thin, like a fine, cool mist, and I could see the sunlight shining from behind the clouds. It was this diffused ball of light with the edges softly diffusing into the atmosphere, and I could see I could see a face, but it wasn't really a face. I can't remember if it was a face, but I just remember looking into these deep, deep blue eyes, and they were so deep and blue, they were kind of like crystals. And everything just slowed down. There were birds flying, and they suddenly just went into this kind of slow motion. They were moving really, really fast, and then just slow motion. It was such a beautiful feeling. Isn't it weird how you can have these amazing feelings when you're dreaming? I mean, it's so intense. And then is it like real, or is it all in your mind? And if you have a feeling in your dreams that you've never had in real life, does that mean that you can imagine a feeling and it happens? Is that kind of like being psychic or something? Do you believe in psychics? Because I think there's something to it. I think there's something to be said for being in touch with these like unseen frequencies that travel in our minds. I mean, they say that our brain is electrical or magnetic or something like that. And I think that, I mean, just like you can pick up invisible Wi-Fi signals, there's definitely a way to pick up thoughts somehow. I don't know. Maybe I'm just supposed to be crazy. I mean, look, I let you into my room, I let you into my bed, and we haven't even had dinner yet. I mean, that's pretty crazy and intense. But I don't know, I just feel like we have this mental connection. I feel like we get each other and we don't need to go over all that stuff. We can just get to the good part. Like, life is short. One of my friends says we're not here for a long time, but we're here for a good time. But have you ever had that feeling when you think when you think about someone and you think about how long it's been since you've talked to them, and then all of a sudden they call you on the phone or they send you a message? Isn't that weird? I mean, maybe it's just me, but I'm a Cancerian. I'm a July baby, water baby, and apparently we are supposed to be psychic or in tune with universal vibrations or whatever. But I always have this thing where I'll just suddenly be thinking about someone. I'll be minding my own business, just going about my day, and then I'm thinking of someone, and either that day or later on they'll give me a call. What do you think that is? Am I psychic? I think everyone can do it. I don't think it's something that is for specific people, because I mean any of us can have a thought. I mean, thoughts are free, right? But it's interesting. Imagine if you could predict when someone was gonna call you. It's like you could script your conversations. You could you would know what to say. do you do you ever rehearse telephone conversations in your head? And what do you say? sometimes sometimes I have to admit I do. I I rehearse some conversations in my head, and then it's funny because sometimes I forget whether I've had the conversations in real life or not. Um, and I'll just like start talking about something random to someone, and in my head, I've already had this conversation with them. It's pretty interesting. Like if you practice conversations, what do you say? Do you think of all the different ways the conversation could go? I mean, it could be, anything. You could take it in so many directions. And ultimately, I guess you'd have control over the situation. And I don't know, is control really something you want? I mean, are we even. Do we know what we're doing enough to control things like that? So that's where I guess I'm torn. It's like I want us to be all telepathic and uh, connected. But then if we are all connected, what happens to privacy? What happens to just, what you want to do and yourself? What happens to that? I mean, imagine if you were going to get a telephone call from someone that would change your life. Something major. And you could practice the conversation. How would you make yourself look in that conversation? Like, what's your what's your go-to move in conversations to make yourself look good? Do you do you try? I remember at at university, my professor was teaching us about psychology, and he said we learned this thing where there are 8 ways of managing impressions, 8 ways people deal with other people, and I've realized people really use that. like that that stuff really works. So if you were going to expect a phone call from someone, I wonder which one of those you would want to use. It's so mysterious. It's like every time I wake up, I see you here, and you're just looking into my eyes, and I feel you in my mind, and that's the weird part. It's like you just get me. You know, you know me, but we don't know each other. That's the weird part. I don't know, maybe Cancerians are psychic. In that case, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, did you hear that? I just sent it to you telepathically. Huh? Oh, I guess you just gotta focus. That's all it is. Focus. Now, I'm going to get back to sending you more telepathic messages. So, if you see me in your dreams, say hi, and we'll continue this when I wake up. night for now.